To be a major party's vice presidential nominee. Now, tonight, the party will formally get its leading man. Joe Biden will accept the nomination, concluding this week's Democratic National Convention. Joining me this morning to break it all down, Congressman Gerry Connolly. Good to see you this morning, Congressman.
Good to be with you.
So I want to start first with Kamala Harris, what she had to say last night, and what the party's thought process is behind this now. Because, you know, some have said, Congressman, this convention is for people who are already all bought in on the system, all bought in on the party, all bought in perhaps on the candidates. Do you believe that, or do you think you can reach some others?
No, I don't think that's accurate. I think it was a really rich portrayal of the American story, whether it be, you know, single moms, gun violence victims, struggling families in terms of the economy and the COVID-19 crisis. No, I think actually it presented, this is America. We're this big, diverse, rich tapestry of people who come together as one country. I think that was really the underlying narrative.
How do you see Kamala Harris and Joe Biden working together?
I think there's going to be real good political chemistry in terms of going out and campaigning, however we have to do it this year, in presenting the alternative. The need to restore America, the need to put this chaos and constant vituperation coming out of the White House behind us. That's not who we are. That's not how we want to be governed. And we've got some real crises we've got to face. We have an opportunity, as Joe Biden's campaign theme says, to build it better. I think we should seize that opportunity is the message. And I think it's going to resonate. And I think Kamala Harris is a very skillful, talented political figure who's got a rich background herself. Her story is very compelling. And Joe Biden is that reassuring, progressive figure who's been with us for a long time and has his own personal story. You know, I worked with Joe Biden for 10 years in the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, and it's always with him what happened right after he got elected as a very young man as the senator when his wife and baby daughter were killed in a car accident. Overcoming that kind of tragedy in your life shapes you. And it's in sharp contrast to sort of the con man style of the man who currently occupies the Oval Office.
And the person who previously occupied the Oval Office had a lot to say last night as well. You know, some are saying that what President Obama had to say last night was, you know, it's been categorized as a lot of bottled up frustration, perhaps, or energy that was all released at once last night. I'm curious what you think about that, and also if this is going to be more of a trend now, if we're going to see more leaders within the party now let loose maybe a little bit more than they had been in the past as we get closer to the election.
You know, of all the speeches I've heard during the Democratic Convention this week, I have to say I found President Obama's speech the most compelling. It was an eloquent, almost lamentation about what's happened to America with the Trump leadership. And yet it ended on a very hopeful exhortation. We can reshape our country. We can repair our country, but we, the people, have to participate. We've got to vote. We've got to organize. We've got to volunteer. And we got to make sure that vote is counted between now and November 3rd.
Yeah, and you know what, Congressman?
It was a very compelling speech.
Congressman, that seemed to be a big theme that has been ramping up as each day the convention moves forward, is just making sure that people actually do cast their ballots, that they do get out there to vote. I know you sit on one of the committees who is going to be dealing with the Postmaster General, at least trying to get him to open up a little bit more. Do you feel, I mean, you personally, are you concerned about the issue with mail-in ballots?
I'm certainly concerned at the attempts to delay and disrupt the mail service by the current Postmaster General, and he'll have a real opportunity on Monday to account for himself. He needs to reassure the American people that he's rolled back these changes so that the election will not be affected. But I believe that as long as you cast your ballot early, that ballot will arrive in time and will be counted. I think if you wait till the last minute, you're taking a risk. And then you have to look at the alternatives for how to vote. But voting by mail is safe, it's reliable, it's almost fraud-free. And I think we should encourage people to do it. We just had a primary in Virginia in June, and more than half the ballots cast for the first time were by mail. And we had no glitches, and all of those ballots were counted by 11 o'clock on Election Day. So it can be done. We just did it. It's going to be massive, but, mail volume is down. So in some ways, this surge volume during the election season is going to be welcome.
Be a busy start to the week next week. I know that you have a lot going on there on the Hill. Congressman Connolly, thanks for joining us this morning.
My great pleasure anytime.